Oh, gosh, Kajol ma'am, I am seeing you after what? So many years. I think the last
Yeah.
time we spoke was during helicopter Ela time, like face to face, and then we did a beautiful telephonic for Devi, and now here we are for more. So warm welcome to you on Filme Shilmy. It's so wonderful to have you.
My pleasure. I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, wonderful. Well, look, I think, the way I would define Ma is reverence beats fear. And I think when I saw the song that dropped recently, the Ma Kali one, it really stirred my soul with spirituality and that reassurance that, good will always overcome evil. So I think
Absolutely.
for you, I think when you're exploring such a character, how much did it really push that mental, emotional, and even spiritual bandwidth for you as well?
Um, I think I've always been one of those people who I believe that I'm protected at every time, at every moment of every day. And I've always believed that, Ma has her hand on my head, and that she's standing behind me when I need her to. So I have always been one of those people. But I think in this film specifically, I think the way it went about it, from the concept stage, when I heard the first concept, and I was like, I have to do this film. It's one of my most favorite stories. I'm such a mythological buff. So it's, I felt like, no, I have to do this film. I have to be a part of this film, whatever happens. And that's where we started up from. And I'm really, really happy with what we have eventually come up with. So super happy to be here.
And I must compliment Ajay Devgn as well, and of course the Geo Studios team for remarkably really bringing our culture and always relying on our spirituality and bringing such stories to the forefront. And I really am so pleased and so reassured, actually, when I see content like this. Really, um, but I think it's interesting though because darkness, when we think about it, it's. I mean, you've been a dark character. You've played a dark character before in Gupt. You have fought darkness in Dushman. And even in Devi as well, your short film, there was that element of darkness as well, kind of coming to the forefront, actually, where you're fighting that as well, essentially. How would you say that relationship between fear, darkness, and fighting that has evolved in you as an artist over time?
I think as you grow as a human being, you realize that it's not light versus dark. It's not. It's about perspective. It has a lot to do with what you view as dark and light, and there is a lot of gray in between. There is just such a lot of gray in between. So as an actor, I'm hoping that I can explore that lovely gray area, and kind of I'm enjoying that aspect of it more than just being. But of course, I'd love to play a villain who's a straight out, straight out dark character again. But yeah, right now I am loving the fact that I'm being offered all these various wonderfully different, films.
Mm. No, it's beautiful though, because on one hand, like in Humnava, which I thought was beautiful, by the way, that rendition was so heartwarming. I think Shreya Ghoshaal's voice with Jubin
She's
Hotel,
lovely. She's lovely. Oh my God, she gives me goosebumps. She's
she
just
does.
so, so good.
And it's a
Yeah.
really good. I'm so glad that, she actually voiced that, sort of maternal emotion through that song. And I'm really glad that she was there for that.
Mm.
But I think also what I would love to know, because see, it asmanjas hoti hai kabhi kabhi, because what happens is that here you are, you're playing a supernatural. There's a really dark supernatural element, and the fact that it obviously is one of the first mytho horror films of India, which I think is amazing in that sense. Um, but you also have the fear of you as a mother, of you losing that kid in terms of the two dark forces, but at the same time there's also that social undertone about children's safety, about looking after kids at the same time. what
Absolutely.
what frightened you the most, actually, as an artist when doing this role? Was it that social element? Was it that supernatural element, or was it a bit of both?
I think it was the fact that there was this confusion in the beginning of whether it was a supernatural element or was it a social element. I mean,
Like,
you always want to know what you're protecting your child from, and that's where the confusion and that's where the fear rises when you're not sure, is it real or isn't it real? Is it really, is it just somebody's thinking wrong, or is it the way I'm thinking that I'm making it out to be more than it is it really something to be scared about, or is it just some random superstition that I'm fighting against? So I think that's what is genuinely scary, even when you compare it to today's day and time. 90% of the time, it's our own. Yeah, you're just not sure what you're fighting against.
Hmm.
What are you fighting against? Are you fighting against somebody's vivid imagination, or are you fighting against something real that you can fight against?
Hmm. And I think the way you've really portrayed motherly characters over time has definitely been incredible. I mean, I still remember My Name is Khan, and the way you really portrayed it, even before that in K3G. I mean, so many roles that you've played as a mom has really kind of been very heartwarming. Even if I look at a film like Dil Kya Kare, I mean, you've always had that sense of strength, I think, with all the characters that you've played. There's a sense of dignity, there's a sense of grace. Um, how, I mean, is that intentional? I think when you bring that sense of dignity and pride and, resilience, that seems to be something that is very much embodied within you as an artist over time as well.
Uh, I think I'm drawn to characters that are strong. I think I portray them the way I've seen my mother do it time and again, and hopefully something that I have imbibed from her as well. I see women as the women that I have seen around me have always been amazing women, from my grandmother to my mother to my all of my wonderfully amazing relatives, to everybody around me. I have some amazing friends who are also, I mean, absolutely amazing women. Um, I see amazing women around me every day. So yes, if that inherent grace that you speak about, that inherent dignity that you speak about, I think I have seen it so much in women in not the best of circumstances. Let me put it that way, and they've stood up for it in the worst of circumstances and had this wonderful dignity and grace in them. So if I can portray that on screen, it's something that I have seen all my life, and so it's probably easier for me to put that on screen.
And also, I know you're a big fan of Devi as well.
I
And the
am. I am. I think she's amazing. I can do like a whole. I can do a whole podcast on her. That's a different podcast.
No, I know. I remember we touched on that last time we had a chat, actually, and it was so, I mean, the sort of way you really look up to her and the sort of body of work she has, it's
Yeah,
incredible. But
absolutely.
but it's interesting actually. When I was watching the Mark Ali song that had just released, I mean, Usha Uttap ma'am, I mean, it just was such a what a force. Like honestly, I remember sharing it on my story, and I was like, this is a combination we desperately needed. And I loved the fact that it was so beautiful to watch. I must tell you that. But again, it also made me nostalgic of Karan Arjun when you did Jai Ma Kal.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that
That
was
was
one.
such a powerful song as well. That was such a powerful song as well. Absolutely. And I think whenever we talk about whenever we talk about the divine feminine, I would like to call her the divine feminine. And yes, she is. And today, in today's day and time, I think it's very appropriate that we are doing a film on Kali in कलयुग जिसे कहते हैं.
जी जी जी.
तो बिल्कुल, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक बहुत बड़ी बात है कि इस ये सही वक्त है इस फिल्म के लिए और इस किरदार के लिए.
जी और मुझे and I'm glad you've mentioned this, and in fact I wrote an article about this actually, about the rise of spiritual storytelling across South Asian cinema generally, that I feel like now we're focusing on stories which are celebrating the idea of good winning against evil. Like for example, if we look at a film like The Matrix now, it'll feel very different. We had Kalki, I mean, Geo and Maddock made a film called Three, which was outstanding. Vishal's film Chori, which was again, again very much about good winning over evil. There's a sense of spirituality in these stories. What do you think has really pushed this style of storytelling, and that too centered and women telling, women characters really leading it, which I'm very happy about, by the way. So, how?
Same here. Super happy about that. Um, I think I think in this day and time, I'm really happy that the fact that it is not about I don't know whether it's about characters anymore. It's not about the people anymore. It's about the characters. It's about the story, you know. And that's what I love about it. I love the fact, I think it's a fabulous time for actors in the film industry right now, because we can actually play very, very odd, strange, different characters and still make a commercial film out of it, or films that will be widely appreciated on OTT or wherever. I'm just saying that as an actor, it's an scrumptious time to be here.
Yes, and I think I want to touch on that spiritual aspect as well, because like
Yes,
you've always said that you feel like माँ का हाथ आपके सर पर हमेशा से रहा है, and I can definitely feel that as well. It's happened with me in my life where things, for example, अगर कुछ गलत होने जा रहा है, तो कोई ना कोई, like some divine intervention will stop it and prevent it from happening. Uh,
absolutely.
with in context of Ma, did you tap into any experiences, spiritual experiences that happened in your life, which kind of, in a way, then transformed into strength for you to play that on screen?
I'll take this film as an example, honestly, because it's just something that just happened. So as we know, I felt मैंने हमेशा लगाया कि मुझे माँ का हाथ मेरे सर पे है, मैंने हमेशा कहा है. And I don't know whether there was a time in my life when I didn't think that. I remember being very young and still having this wonderful feeling that I'm protected and I'm guided at all times. So as far as this film was concerned, when it came to me as a concept note, and I was like, this is one of my most favorite stories. I'm a mythological buff. I've read the entire Amar Chitra Katha. I mean, every book, every volume. I remember I used to go to the bookshop and buy the latest one that came out every time. So for me to do a film on one of my most favorite stories was like a no-brainer, really. I was like, I have to do this film. I have to do this film. And from that concept note to the script to eventually the recce's and to eventually shooting, I have to say that it was the fastest. It shocked me how fast the turnaround was.
Mm,
Because normally, I don't know I don't know whether normal people know this, but normally a film takes time to get made. From a
correct.
concept to the shooting actually takes about a year, sometimes a year and a half, sometimes longer. But this film, from the concept was in July, the script was end of July. Recce's happened in September, October. Dates were given, and the entire thing we were shooting in January. I mean, it was a question of 6 months. I mean, it literally felt like, she was there standing behind us and saying, theek hai, okay, go ahead. You're doing the right thing. So I'm here because I feel like I'm supposed to be here. And, this is the right place, the right film for me to do right now.
And I think this is really going to change the dynamic. Actually, honestly, genuinely, I feel like this. I've always wanted to see you do a film which really kind of just completely just catapults you into another level. And I think this film really genuinely has all of those ingredients ticked. And I'm so happy to hear that. But look, Kajol, ma'am, you are someone who has always maintained a balance between mainstream appeal and emotional agency. I remember that interview that we did for Helicopter Ela. I remember you saying that the script is always the heroine of the film, regardless. And I think now, almost, I mean, several years down the line, and when you're doing a very powerful film like Ma, what has your kind of incline to a film altered, evolved over time when it comes to the script? I mean, what is it that really speaks to you in a story today?
I think the basis is the same still. till today. I still need a fantastic script in front of me to agree to do it. But yes, I've become greedier as I've grown older, greedier, pickier. I feel that now it needs to be a good script, great people, and a fabulous character, and I need to be able to do something that I haven't done before. I want to do different things. I want to explore that gray area, amazingly. I want to explore every inch of that gray area in between black and white. And, I'm enjoying it thoroughly,
Right.
thoroughly.
Very quickly, if fear is a mirror, what did Ma show you about yourself?
If fear is a mirror, Ma showed me that every fear is only showing me the glass ceiling above me that I need to break.
Love, wow, beautiful, how wonderful. Oh my gosh. Kajol ma'am, thank you so honestly. This has been such a beautiful, honestly, this has been wonderful. And wishing you all the very best for Ma. And maybe continue seeing such more spiritual stories and feminist stories really take center stage, especially in the horror space. I think it's wonderful. I love it. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.